Hello everyone, am I audible? Hello, am I audible? You can type in the chat box. Am I audible? Okay, fine. So I think some more people should join. Okay, let us not wait for them. We'll continue. Let them join. Okay, so today I'll be talking about the various types of markets and what are the ingredients of various markets. And of course, if time permits, we can discuss even some of the commodity exchanges which are there in these markets. Okay. So coming back to the question of till now, whatever we have studied, we went for the introduction part. We understood about what is the commodity markets is all about. So why it is important and how it is relevant in Indian economy, especially when India is having lot of commodities and a lot of opportunities are there for trading in commodities other than even trading in capital investments, capital markets. So we even went for understanding the Forward Market Commission, the main regulator for commodity markets, and we went and went into the Bear Act and when it was initiated and what are the procedure involved and all those things, and also the functions, very important functions and power of commodity forward market commissions. So even though today we don't have something called as Forward Market Commission because that has been merged with SEBI. Okay, so Security Exchange Board of India is doing all the functions. So coming back to the commodities, we have primarily two important types of commodities in India. One is agriculture commodities and the non-agriculture commodities. So let us see what are these agriculture commodities. So agriculture commodities are basically classified into grains like maize, wheat, rice, all those things, bajra, barley, and all those things. So that is basically under the classification of grains. Okay. So then we have pulses like chana, masoor, peas, tur dal, urdal, gram dal, moong dal. See, all these things are called as pulses. Then we have spices, very important. Spices are there like cardamom, jeera, pepper, chili, turmeric, methi, ginger, clove, and betel nuts. Very important again, betel nuts. Okay, so spices are very important because we have a separate spice board also, which is monitoring the activities of spices in India. So that is spices. So we have grains, we have pulses, we have spices. Then we have plantations, very important again, plantations like arcanut, cashew, kernel, coffee, rubber. See, these are the various plantations we have in agriculture commodities. Then we have oil and oil seeds, again, very, very, very important because we are significantly progressing in this front. Sometime way back in the last 10 to 15 years, we had lost this domination in oil seeds. So we used to go for more import of oil seeds from foreign countries. Now, at least slowly, we are moving towards the exporting of oil seeds also. So like castor oil, castor seeds, cotton seeds, and copra oil, coconut oil, and all these things. So that is also one of the important segment in agriculture commodities. Then we have a lot of linseed oil, mustard oil, and all those things. So a lot of oils are there which is getting exported, soya oil, and all those things. Then we have fibers like cotton. So even fiber comes under agriculture. Okay, so fibers like cotton, cotton yarn, cotton cloth, cotton pods, art silk yarn, raw jute, and jute goods. So jute, I think if you go back in introduction class, what I told, there was a jute market which was established in West Bengal, right? So that was one of the official future markets which were established during pre-independence era. And that market was doing very good because that belt is known for jute. Then other agriculture commodities like mentha oil, potato, sugar, camphor, gur, polymer, melted methane flakes, camphor, bursine, crystals. So a lot of things are there other than which are getting classified under other headings of agriculture commodities. So when we say agriculture commodities, we need to think about not only the grains or the pulses. We need to also think about the oil seeds which are there, and of course the plantation crops which are there. That also becomes part of that. And major important thing is about spices and fiber. That's a very important thing. So when I talk about agriculture commodity markets, I'm talking about all these commodities. Okay, so don't restrict yourself to sugar or rice, wheat, barley, like that. Don't restrict your mind when I say agriculture only to that. Talk about fibers also, spices also, plantations also, pulses, everything comes under agriculture commodities. So similarly, we have non-agriculture commodities on the other side, like precious metals, like gold, silver. I don't think India we have platinum. Okay, gold and silver are the major things which are coming under non-agriculture commodities. And apart from that, precious metal, we have base metals like zinc, iron, aluminium, copper, lead, nickel, tin, platinum, nickel, tin, like that. Okay, so that is about base metals. And we have energy also, very important. Okay, energy commodities are now being traded like anything in the market. Okay, energy commodities. So very important, non-agriculture, we need to study about this energy commodities also, like Brent crude oil, furnace oil, natural gas, emisor crude oil. See, these are the commodities which are classified under non-agriculture. Please do focus on this energy, very important. Okay, in the coming years, energy sector is playing a very major role, especially when it comes to the question of trading on platforms like markets and all those things. So commodity markets, basically. Then other non-agriculture commodities like electricity is there, cooking coal, thermal coal, iron ore, ethanol, carbon credits, methanol, and polymers. So even these are also there. Okay, so when I say commodities, commodities includes whole bunch of agriculture and non-agriculture commodities, which are getting highlighted and which are getting traded in the market in a very large way. Okay, so if you see the volumes of trade and the value of trade which is involved, right? So the percentage of agriculture commodities in this trading aspect, right? It is far less compared to the non-agriculture commodities. Somewhere, since agriculture commodities has its own volatility in terms of production and in terms of pricing, right? So there is less scope for this the investors to participate in agriculture commodity trading. Rather, people prefer for going for trading in non-agriculture commodities. So especially the volume of gold and silver and base metals like iron, tin, nickel, copper, and all those things. And also energy. I was talking about energy sector, and that especially the oil sectors and all those things, right? So they are the commodities which are getting traded in huge volumes. Okay, because even people know that even though we say that agriculture is the major activity of our country, still somewhere the importance of agriculture as a trading commodity has not gone into the minds of people. So because I think most of the people are gone by the sentiments, so we don't consider that to be a trading activity. We think that is an essential activity, especially for controlling the distribution and also maintaining the price at the stable level and all those things. So that may be some of the reason why, since there is too much of government intervention also in this agriculture commodities, because of its importance in the economy is concerned with, especially to maintain the harmonizing channel of distribution through all people. Okay, so I think somewhere the agriculture commodities volume and value wise is less compared to the non-agriculture commodities. So, and also the other thing is the fluctuation in the price and the quantity and demand situation. Okay, so that's a very important thing, and you know that agriculture products or produce or commodities are dependent on various factors. Okay, so various climatic factors are there, various natural factors are there, and apart from that, market factors are also there, and government regulations are also there. So a lot of things are dependent on this agriculture commodity. So somewhere the investors are more reluctant in order to go for this agriculture commodities are concerned with. So they are more interested to go for non-agriculture, especially the base metal and the metals and the crude. Okay, so the oil sector and all those things. So I think that may be the reason why the volume and value of non-agricultural commodities are higher than compared to the agriculture commodities over the period of time. So today also we see that there is a lot of demand from non-agriculture side. Okay, so that is one thing. And of course, seeing at the contribution of these markets for the development of the overall investment pattern, right? So we see somewhere in the agriculture commodities also there are few commodities which is getting more recognized than few other commodities. Okay, so that again depends upon the volume, and it's not better not to go to statistics and see all these things, because these are the more volatile pictures what you have. So going by seeing at the old statistics will not help you out, because right now this segment, especially this commodity marketing segment, right, it is going for a very quick revival. So people are now becoming more and more knowledgeable because of the awareness created by the various exchanges, especially in this particular markets, right? So because of that, even the dimension or the trends under which this particular market movement is happening is also changing. So I think that is a very good sign of the changes what are taking place in the commodity exchanges, and we can see that going forward, this will be a very big market, especially in terms of creating a lot of opportunities for not only the investors but also the people like farmers. Okay, who can now go and trade in the market directly and get a very good price for their produce or products or commodities, whatever they want to offer. So I think this needs to be cultivated in the habits of the farmers, who are the people who will not be knowing what the price for the produce will be unless and until they take that product to the market. So this is the area where we need to help the farmers in the rural areas, because the Prime Minister ambitious plan of doubling the farmers' income, right? So how do you double the farmers' income? So we need to explore the various ways of bringing the farmers into the mainstream, educating them, because technology is now has reached each and every rural segments. So, and everyone has a mobile phone and everyone has internet connections, and they're the two 4G connections they're having. So I think it's a pretty good time now for them to be knowledgeable and start exploring the markets for their produce, and also to cover themselves from the risk of by doing hedging, by selecting future products. So it's a high time that our farmers knows about this, and the commodity trading in agriculture commodities are aimed at stabilizing the overall prices of the commodity. So that's the intention. So that's how government has some control over this regulations in the market also. So even though it's a free market which has been let, that is a free exchanges which has been operating in country under various scenarios, but restriction is there on the platforms under which, and especially on some of the essential commodities which are getting traded in this market. So ensuring a fair price to the producers, avoiding instabilities, and producing an accurate price discovery. Price discovery is a very important thing. So see, price discovery, when I say, I think we need to evolve at a mechanism of arriving at a price. See, when I say I am recruiting a commerce graduate with 2 years experience and he should have the skill sets of X, Y, Z and all those things. That means I know in the market such type of graduates with such type of experience and such type of skill sets, right? So they will be offered, let us say, 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs CTC. So there is a benchmark under which it operates in the area, right? In Bangalore, they're offering so much. In Chennai, it may be different. In Hyderabad, it may be different. In Bombay, see, it varies depending upon, at least there is a benchmark under which your experience, skill sets, everything is valid. But what about farmers? So there is no particular mechanism under which the farm produce or the commodities what the farmers grows can be benchmarked. So you cannot say that okay, we will procure the commodities at this rate. So there is something called as minimum support price. So that is not for all products. Okay, it only covers for 24 products, 24 agriculture commodities come under that, and that differs from state to state. Okay, so there is nothing called as the exact procedure under which that MSP needs to be worked out. Okay, so there are a lot of things which are happening. So this is the only segment, even though we say that 70% of people in rural area depend on agriculture for their livelihood. So 65% of the people are there in rural area, 70% are dependent on agriculture for their livelihood. So 82% of the farmers are small and marginal. See, we have these statistics, but how many years you keep on reading the statistics and you will be thinking, yeah, we need to come out with some concrete solutions or concrete mechanism under which we create some price for the agriculture produce. So tomorrow, if a farmer wants to sow tomato in his 1 acre of land, at least you need to know what is the price which is assured to him. So when you are doing CMA or a CA or a CS, you know what is the market price for your degree. Or when you are doing MCom or BCom, you know what is the value of that course in the market. At least you can quantify it in terms of some value. Okay, there may be some minor changes or changes due to technical skills and all those things. I do accept that. But at least those people who are in urban area, they know whatever they are doing, it will fetch some money for them. At least they know what is that money, roughly around some estimates, they know that. But what about the poor farmer here? He doesn't know unless and until he takes that produce to the market. So only when he takes to the market on that particular day, if there is a huge rain which happens, that entire product is washed out. So all his efforts of 3 to 4 months, whatever he has grown, it goes for toss. Or on that particular day, if there is a lockdown, like what is happening today. So I was really reluctant to see some disturbing pictures of farmers in Ramnagar throwing tomatoes on roads. So yesterday I was seeing that pictures which are appearing. See, he has put so much of efforts. He has taken so much of pain. He has taken so much of loan. He has shown so much of commitment. And he has worked in field day and night. And he has safeguarded that. He has used pesticides. How much effort is going on? And end of the day, you say that no one is there to buy that produce. No one is there to buy tomato because of lockdown. What that poor guy will do here? See, this is something I think we educational people should think. Okay, do anything. Can we do anything for this? So we in Institute of Cost Accountant in India, I'm part of this National Agriculture Task Force. So we have come out with some solutions. So it doesn't mean that only commerce graduate needs to think in commercial terms, or science graduate only need to think in science term, or a doctor should think in only in doctor, an engineer should think only in engineer. See, this is the mindset of our education. We spoiled our education like this. A science person should read only science subject. He should not be aware of social. A commerce student only should be aware of only commerce knowledge. He should not be knowing anything relating to geography. He should not know something about agriculture. He should not know something about engineering. And engineering student only should know about engineering. He should not concentrate any other thing. See, this is the mindset of our education. I don't know who are the people behind such type of education curriculum, what they designed and all those things. But because of this, what has happened, we don't know, we can't think even beyond whatever we have studied in our college. And that too, we don't know 100%. That's again another fate of us. Even though we have studied accounting for 5 years, we don't know what is accounting. Even though we have studied statistics for 1 year or 2 years, we don't know what is statistics. Even though we have studied so much financial management, we don't know how to manage our finance. Then what is the purpose of such type of education? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, okay, we need to bring a holistic approach to our education, and that's what NEP is all about, new education policy, which will be rolled out. And it talks about those things. So going forward, you people will be given an option. So if you are a commerce student, you will be given an option to study geology. If you are interested in geology, study geology. If you are interested in economics, study economics. If you want to study political science, do it. So now you will be exposed in the new education policy. By the time NEP comes, you are all people will be graduated now. Okay, you will pass your MCOM and you'll come out. So this will benefit only the next 10 years. Okay, 10 years when those people from the primary levels become graduates, right? At that point of time, this will benefit. But whatever the next 10 years gap, this 10-year gap still continues with whatever has happened in the history. Same thing will repeat. See, why I'm telling all these things, daily we are eating food. Okay, without food, we cannot survive. Without degree, I can survive, but without food, I cannot survive. And who is growing that food? Farmers are growing that food. That farmer doesn't know what is the price means really pathetic. That person is working for us day and night, and that person doesn't know what is the price at which he should sell. That is where the question of price discovery comes into picture. Okay, this was really very good that at least India started with these agriculture commodity exchanges. There are so many exchanges in India. I'll come back to that. Okay, regional and non-regional exchanges are there. But only thing is that awareness is not there in the farmers. Many farmers still depend on mandis. Many farmers still depend on middlemen for their agriculture produce because they are the people who are funding them in order to grow. Because rural credit, what we talk about, is not so good. No financial institution will come forward to lend a farmer. Okay, so many banks are there, so many financial institutions are there in India. But if you see the contribution of those financial institutions for farming sector, farming credit, it's very less compared to the funding of them to year. So if you have a pay slip, based on that pay slip, they will give you loans. So without knowing the danger that tomorrow if you are removed from that particular company, what next? How do you repay that money? But a farmer who is having a land, a farmer who is having the experience of growing crops, all those things, still he cannot get a loan. Okay, so that is a very funny thing. Even here, you don't know the assurance that you will be in the job for next 6 months. We don't know what will happen, but still people trust you in when they want to give you loan. But the same thing in agriculture sector, even though he is the person who is giving you food, he is the person who is not taking and everything for his own thing. So whatever he grows, he gives to the society. But still, we are not encouraging that people by extending the credit system. So whatever the amount they give is very nominal. Okay. And that principle at which they are giving is also not what is expected out of. Okay, so there is no mechanism under which the farmers are given that particular that particular loan. So even though there are a lot of financial institutions and financial arrangements which are there, but somewhere the particular help is not coming at the right place. So only option left to farmer is, why don't they think about these markets, exchange markets? So most of the exchange markets are now coming under regulators. So it's not that something where they don't have security for entering into contracts. So all these days, and you people might have also seen in a lot of old movies, and you might have read in somewhere that how the farmers used to be get exploited by landlords. Okay, so you used to take that thumb impression on the white paper, empty white paper, and used to, after that you used to write and used to take the entire land, saying that you had written that you will give the land for me for the loan, whatever you have taken. That poor guy doesn't know what is the loan given and what is that land value, what is to be taken and how it has been taken. These used to be zamindari systems which was there, and the bonded labor system what was practiced in India. See, we know all this history. So do you think that these practices have ended in India? No, these practices still continue today. Even though there is a bonded labor act which has been passed by the legislature, but still bonded labor exists in India. So the exploitation of farmers are still happening with the landlords. Zamindari system still exists in rural part of India today also. So law cannot do anything. Only thing is, how do we educate our farmers? How do we see that the next generation commercial farming, people like you and me, take up this as an opportunity and do commercial farming, and how we can bring technology and the knowledge together in order to raise crops and all those things. So that is the future farming which is there, and many people are now, I think you might have read in somewhere and all those things. People from Wipro have quit the job and they have become farmers. They have opened dairy farming. Engineering people have quit and they have opened commercial farming in Srirangapatna and all those things. I think you might be reading these things, and today it has become one of the career opportunities to go back to agriculture, because a lot of opportunities are there, a lot of technology things are there. Okay, because one thing is very important. One simple thing I'll tell you. Okay, just ponder in your mind about what I'm saying. See, population is going up, availability land is limited. Okay, God has stopped giving the land. He has given one earth to us. He has told, this is your earth, so you manage yourself. So we don't have power to create one more land, or you cannot close all the rivers or all the ocean, and you cannot make a land there. God has created. Only option is, how do you balance this? Okay, how do you use this land is very important. So out of this land, 82% is only cultivable land. Remaining 18% are all arid lands, forest land, or dry lands, rocks land filled with rocks, sand, hard sand, and all those things. So we have only 82% of the land which can be used for cultivation. Out of that, we are already 138 billion population. 138 crore, sorry, not billion. 138 crore population people we are. Okay, so population is going up, land is coming down. So that is very important. Population is going up, land is coming down. So earlier in 1970, 1 acre of land used to feed 5 to 6 people. Today, 1 acre of land cannot feed even 2 people. Land availability is less. Your demand is going up. Agriculture demand for agriculture produce is going up. So definitely the technology should interfere now. So whatever you used to grow in one plant, now you used to grow 3 times in the same plant. Okay, that is because of technology. So you might be seeing a small plant yielding more harvest compared to big plants. So that is technology. But at that same point, how good it is for health, that is the secondary thing which we need to think of. But in India, we don't think all these things. We just want to enter market, we'll enter market. Later we realize, oh, how good is that for health? Then you realize, oh, this is not healthier. By the time you realize, you already distributed that to crores of people. So that is what is happening. Simply we are leading a life without any proper plans or proper futures in mind. We don't decide about what is our future. So we are simply adopting whatever comes in our way. So without applying our thoughts, what it will happen in future. But in Western countries, that is not the case. So they are very futuristic. They think whenever they want to do something right, they just think what 5 years ends if we start using this today. So that is very important from the perspective of climate change and all those things. So tomorrow it's our own kids who will be there in this universe. We might be going, okay, we are not there at that point of time, but at least our kids or our next generation should be happy, right? So that type of mentality is not there in India. Today we need to survive. Today we'll enjoy, and today we'll whatever is coming in our way, we'll live. We will not at least bothered about what tomorrow is. So tomorrow it's our own kids who will be there. That we are not worried about. So all the mess, whatever we have created because of plastic, because of environmental pollution and all those things, we are doing it. Even wasting water, wasting energy, everything we are doing. But again, we are not thinking back, okay, whether this is the right thing, what we are doing for the next generation. So next generation will suffer. Okay, so that's it, what's happening. So why I talked about all this thing is because farmers are the people who don't get proper price for their produce. These exchanges will create price discovery for them. How does it create? See, how does future transaction happens in exchange? Future is an organized way of entering into contract at the initial stage itself. I'll give you an example, okay? Let us say I'm a farmer with a person saying that I have a 1 acre of land. I'll be sowing potatoes in that. Okay, I'll be putting potato seeds. And in next 3 months, when the harvest happens for that potato, I'll be selling 100 quintal of potato which comes in my land at 30 rupees per kg. See, this is a contract. This is a formal contract what I'm entering into with a person in the future market. So I find a person who is interested to buy potato in the market. So this is called as writing an order. So I'm writing an order. So there are persons who are interested in my order. They come and they want to buy that order. Okay. So, and they say that, okay, I am interested to buy your potatoes after 3 months at this price. Okay. So they both take the contract, and that is called as a future contract. Future contracts are contracts which are coming under regulated frameworks. Okay. So here buyer is known, seller is also known. So seller knows what is the commitment, at what price you should sell. Buyer also know at what price you should purchase and what is the number of quantity you should from what it should purchase, from whom also he knows. So this is a formal contract which is done through an exchange where both parties know what the transaction is. So don't you think that there is a price discovery here? Because today I am entering into a contract for the produce which will be grown 3 months henceforth. So after 3 months only, I'll be growing that potato, and that potato I'll be growing 100 quintals as per my knowledge about how much it can yield in the 1 acre of land. And I am also safeguarding myself by telling that per kg 30 rupees you need to pay. That means today I am entering into contract for the supply which will be made after 3 months. And today I am fixing a price of 30 rupees. Don't you think this is a price discovery? I found a price for potatoes. So if you don't enter into such contracts, you bring potato seeds from some societies, you put that potato seeds in your farm, you try to grow that. After 3 months, you raise 100 quintals from that particular land. Then you take to the market and find where the price is. See, is that price discovery? It's not price discovery. So what happens if the potato on that particular day, when you take to the market, the price of per kg of potato is 10 rupees? Then you lost. You will not be able to recover even your cost. So whatever you have grown, you are selling it at a loss. And that loss, that amount, whatever you are getting is not sufficient to clear your debts. So end of the day, that particular farmer commits suicide because he will not be able to repay the debts. So in exchange, what happens? The 30 rupees, whatever you have agreed, that is inclusive of your cost and 5 rupees or 8 rupees profit per kg. So on the day of third month, ending of the third month, the contract gets executed. The buyer should buy 100 kgs and the buyer should pay him 30 rupees per kg because it's a formal contract done through an exchange. Exchange sees that that guy should pay that money and this guy should deliver that number of units to him. So in some way, it is protecting the farmers so that farmers gets his share of his income. On that particular day, if it goes to 35 rupees, farmer will lose 5 rupees. If he had, instead of competing with this guy, if he had sold it in the market, he could have got 5 rupees extra. That is different thing. Okay. So that risk is there always. Okay. That is different thing. But only thing is, at least to that extent, farmer got covered or hedged his risk. He got covered from risk. So futures are those products which can, time of entering into contract, the settlement of which will happen at the future date. So that is price discovery. Very important point. Many farmers are not aware of that, but slowly this awareness is getting created. So this is not only for farmers you can do in commodity markets, even I and you can also trade in commodities, even though I don't have any commodities, but I can trade on commodity futures. Okay, that means I am creating temporary price discoveries for agriculture produce. Okay, so this is a very important point which you need to know. At the same time, some speculation may take benefit of bringing high instability in commodity prices. This is also happening. Okay, there are people like speculators, hoarders, and all these people who will be temporarily playing in the market. And that is happening in even capital markets also. So whenever there is a market, there will be people like this who will be temporarily creating demand, or that's one way of making money in the markets. Okay, such type of people will be there, but there are some strict regulations not to do illegal trading. Okay, the controls are there on illegal trading. If someone is entering into speculation or arbitrage method of trading and all those things, it's a legal way of doing it. Okay, only thing is you need to be aware of, you need to be educated, you need to know how the market works. So you cannot put restriction or control on speculators, arbitragers, and all these people in the market. They should be also there. Okay, that inconsistency or instability, there are chances. But what government has done, especially in case of agriculture commodities, are they know that what are the essential commodities. So at the time of trading with the essential commodities, they have equipped the exchanges in such a way that they put something called as circuit breakers. So I'm talking purely from the market angle. Okay, so, these are the technical terms what comes in the market. They put something called as circuit breakers. See, you might have, you might be having in your house also circuit breakers, right? In your electricity, wherever you use this electricity machine, right? Meters, electric meters. Okay, PCB will be there. Okay, PCB they call it as PCB. What is this PCB? This is also circuit breakers only. What this the role of circuit breaker is, whenever there is a leakage of electricity, or whenever there is a earthing problem, or whenever your motors like a fridge or your washing machine, if there is some loose connectivity, or if the wires which are inside is getting short, all those things happens, right? Then what happens? It should not lead to major damages. like short circuit or something into your home. So in order to protect that, they have installed these PCBs, circuit breakers. What happens if they find some mild tremor in the electricity fluctuation? Automatically your electricity will go. It stops supplying the electricity because that tripping happens in the electric meter. So that fuse gets disconnected and immediately the current supply stops at your home. So that is an indicator showing that it saves from you from any dangers which may come in future if it is not properly controlled. Same way, there are circuit breakers in the market. Let us say the market starts today and people are there to invest in market in an essential commodity like rice or wheat. So there will be circuit breakers. That means the market fixes a certain level of prices at which it should be traded. So they say that this particular commodity rice, it should be traded not beyond 40 rupees per kg. Okay, what happens? The market starts at 32 rupees. And as soon as the market starts, if there is too much demand and people start booking the order for rice at a higher rate, and if it goes up to 40 rupees, the market suspends. Suspend means the market closes for rice on that particular day. You cannot go further and book any orders on that particular commodity. Okay, you can punch the order, but the market suspends. That means there is no more trading which takes place on that particular rice because the limit, whatever was fixed, okay, that has crossed. So once the limit is crossed, you cannot go back and do the trading in that particular commodities. So market suspends for that particular day. Again, next month, next day, the market opens. Again, they will fix some circuit breaker points like 42 rupees, 39 rupees, 30. So looking at the demand and supply situation, they try to fix the price. See, these are the very good indicators. If there is a farmer who can visualize this, who can understand this, or people like you and me who are consultants who can help the farmers, saying that, why don't you enter into this? Why don't you think about investing your commodities in a derivative product so that you will be safe from the risk? So someone should be there to educate them. Okay, so this circuit breaker concept was introduced in the market in order to put a check on the increase in the price movement, especially in agriculture commodities. So today, the government has taken, or the regulator has taken so much initiative to see that there is no ill effects on the commodities which will be consumed by the total population of India. So it should not impact the population of the entire nation. Okay, so because this is the food is very important for all sections of society, whether you are rich, poor, or very poor, or badly in need of. Everyone needs food, even though money is not required by everyone. At least food is required for survival for everyone. So government is keen in monitoring the movement of the demand and supply and the price level of this particular commodity. So they pitch in. So if it is a precious metal, government doesn't pitch in there because that's only demanded and that's required only at certain level of people. It's not for all. But agriculture commodities like rice, wheat, and dal and all these things are not for rich class or middle class or something like that. It's demanded by all sections of society. So I think this is the area where they need to be very cautious, and that's how the trading. I'll come back to those things when the settlement process and all I want to explain. Right at that point, I will tell you why I'm telling all these things to you, because this is something which you need to understand at this level of why this subject is very important today. Okay, at the same time, some speculators are there. Speculators are really required because they are the people who will be creating the volatility in the market, which is very important. There should be a change. There should be a flow. Okay, but too much of the flow is not important. But at least the volatility or the flow fluctuations in the market is very important. Okay, see, because it creates only those people who are really interested to enter into the market. Or else what happens, it invites all the people who don't have any knowledge about the market. They come and they invest money and they lose money and they go out. So such type of people will not be helpful in the long run in the market development. So only those people who can have a holistic view, futuristic view, with better intention of creating some development activities, right? They can venture into the market. So one type, the speculators and all things are important. So benefiting producers from stable price is one of the major objective of agriculture commodities. So stability in price is one thing which is the most challenging thing in agriculture price commodities. Stability cannot be, as and you and me discuss, right? They cannot establish that stability. Only thing is how fast you come back to the stability is very important. Even though you cannot establish a stability in price, at least how fast we can come back and establish the stability, or how fast we can do it, is a very important thing. So that's why agriculture commodity trading is very important, to ensure there will be a stability in price, or how fast we can reach the stability. Second one is building a better link between the future market and the spot market. So spot market is what the market prevailing today on the spot. What is that which is prevailing is called a spot market. And what is the futuristic? That is 3 months hence today. What is the market? So we need to ensure that these two connectivities are there. So between spot price and the future price, spot market and future market. So how do we establish this connectivity? So that is the origin point of this particular trading. Then ensuring price stability so that seasonal variation can be minimized. So some of the agriculture produce are season-based produce. So they vary from one season to another season. So how do you establish this price stability? Okay, in case of seasonal variation. Because definitely what happens, right, especially in case of seasonal variation products, right, they charge huge price because they know that people will demand for such products during those seasons. So what they do, they charge exorbitant price for the product because they start hoarding it. They know that this is a excess season and they procure in this excess season and they store it. And when the season is off season, they start selling it at a higher price. So during season also, you did not make the product available in the market, and during off season, you are selling that product at a higher price. So somewhere, because of your greed of making money, you are playing with the mindset of the common people. This should not happen. So this is not a way the economy should function. Because if such type of activities are resorted to, first it creates unequal distribution of income and wealth. That means income will start going to only those people who practice this type of hoardings and all those things, black marketing, hoarding and all these things. So you are not giving the protection for the consumers. Okay, and you are allowing only some people to dominate the market. Okay, by not encouraging other people to be part of the market, so that during the surplus season or the seasonal season at which the products are available in plenty, you need to encourage people to buy it more. So you are restricting that people to procure at that point of time, and during the off season you are selling that same product at a higher price. So somewhere you are deceiving the consumers of their right to enjoy that produce during their season. So in order to tackle this issue, it's very important that we need to go for agriculture commodity trading. So it creates price stability during seasonal fluctuation also. because contracts are entered into in much in advance, and during that period you need to supply them. Building a better link is over. Ensuring price stability during fixation is over. Importance of agriculture commodity trading is very important. As I was discussing on all these points, right? This is in order to give importance to agriculture commodity trading. Then agriculture commodity trading market is helpful to discover future price depending upon the current trends. So I told you about that also, discovery of price. They also help to discover price, and in this way they may influence the pricing decision of the farmers. That's very important. At least farmers now going forward know how much is the price for the produce what they grow. At least in advance he can think about it, and then he can start practicing cost reduction techniques. That's very important. So farmer knows that 30 rupees is the price assured for him. Now he can work backwards and see how far he can cut down the cost, minimize the cost so that he can make huge profits. So that is one important thing what the farmers, it creates the interest in the minds of farmers to go for reduction in cost. So now it becomes more of commercial in nature, commercial type of farming. A better link between the future market and the spot market powers the commodity market to influence the overall agriculture sector. Very important sector, I told you, because it is giving employment to 70%. 70% of the livelihood of rural sector depends on farmers. So farmer depends on this agriculture, okay, to the maximum extent in rural areas, 70% of them. Okay. Agriculture price in India are set to influence by MSP and the wholesale price set by traders. Both these may contain errors at a market-oriented price mechanism. In this context, more refined commodity market may power market-oriented price determination. So this would be the exact way of doing it, because there are a lot of issues when it comes to the fixing of price by the governments are concerned. See, India has 6 different types of features, especially when it comes to the agriculture. Okay, they have different types of climate zones, they have different types of farming practices, they have different types of soil patterns, there are different types of climates which are there in India. There are different types of farming system itself in India. So when there are so many intricacies which are there, how do you expect to fix a common price for all rice growing farmers in India? It's highly impossible, right? So you cannot fix. Sometimes what happens, whatever the price you fix as MSP will be much less than what the cost of production of agriculture is. So many produce or many products are there or commodities are there in agriculture where government fix one MSP price, but their cost of cultivation is much higher than that MSP price. So these type of gaps are there. So even MSP is not covering their actual cost of production. That means to say, it is a loss even if you create MSP. That is because not because of government issues. That is because of various factors which are going on. Because you cannot fix common MSP across all the regions put together. It is region specific. So if you are fixing a MSP for rice in Karnataka, it cannot be for all Karnataka rice growers, because they grow rice with different varieties. Okay, they grow rice in different belts. They grow rice in different climatic regions. Their technology, some people, district people will use some other technology for growing the same rice. See, there are different things. There are different parameters. So you cannot say all rice will procure it for 100 quintals at 1,000 rupees or 1,500. You cannot say that. That is a problem which is there in India. It is recurring. It is going on and it will go. I don't know, even in my grandson age, granddaughter age also this continues, unless we don't think seriously about these things. So day before yesterday, I was interacting with one of the important person from MS Mavinathan Foundation. One important thing he told me. He told, sir, green revolution is done. But it is not green revolution which is very important. It is evergreen revolution which is required for India. Evergreen revolution means it should be throughout. Till India remains, you should be going on with changes. He told green revolution is not the answer, sir. Evergreen revolution is the answer. It should keep on. So very beautifully said. Okay, such type of thing should happen. Okay, so these are the important points what I wanted to make in agriculture commodity markets. So I'll continue in the next class. Okay, so there are a lot of things. Okay, when we start discussing further, right, you will come to know a lot of things there are there which are possible. That if we can educate our farmers and those people who are into agriculture, right, about this commodity trading, I think most of the issues of farmers will be resolved. Okay, so I think serious effort should be made from those people who study this topic. Okay, because awareness is not there today. Also, many people are complaining that they don't know about all these available opportunities which are there. So I think we need to work in this area. So any doubts till now? Because most of you might be listening to this topic for the first time, how commodity market works. You are lucky people, at least you have these topics. When we were studying in postgraduate and graduates, right, no one taught us this subject about commodity markets. We never knew that there is a market like this for commodities. As per our understanding, this commodity market goes back to 20th century. So somewhere in 19th century, right? So 1815 was the first time when we talked about these cotton markets and all those things. So we never knew 15, 20 years back about this topic, commodity, even though it was very much peak in India during commodity. Forward Market Commission was established in 1952. So this was very much there, very much active, but still they did not cover this type of syllabus in our academics. At least you people are lucky enough that you are listening or studying all these concepts. Okay, fine. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Any questions on this commodity markets, you can ask me. Till now, whatever we have covered, okay, starting from introduction, then forward market commissions, and about agriculture and non-agriculture commodity markets. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So no doubts, can we close? I think you people might be hungry. Okay, so go back and start eating. This is again grown by farmers. Okay, whatever you are eating now, right, it is grown by farmers. So again, salute to the big farmers who are every day enriching us. Okay, so before you eat food, remember that guy, Annadata Sukhiba, and try to eat the food. Because without any expectation, with taking so much of risk, he is still continuing with the cultivation. We are lucky people. Okay, so having said so, I will close this. So next class is when here? Next class is next Tuesday, right? Because tomorrow is holiday. Okay, next Tuesday I will be taking the class. Okay, I'll tell you what time you'll take because lot of meetings are there for me. Okay, from morning 8 o'clock I'm in the meeting, so I could not take your session on 8 o'clock. Okay, thank you. Be safe. Okay, stay at home. Be safe. Be healthy. All the best. Thank you. What is not got the timetable? Which timetable you are looking for? Okay, so timetable, madam will send. I don't know anything about this because I'm not with your college. I'm with my profession. They have asked me to take class. I'm taking class. I don't know about timetable. I don't know about any Bangalore city circulars and all those things. Don't ask me all these things. Okay, better check with Archana madam. She's the right person to answer all your doubts. So anything relating to commodity markets, you ask me. I'll be able to tell you. But not about your academics parts like timetable or your internals and all those things. Okay, I'll not be able to answer you all these things. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Stay safe and remain safe at home for next 3 to 4 days. We can fight this corona out. Okay, so it's a responsibility of all of us to fight this corona out and don't see this news channels. Okay, please don't read newspaper, especially these areas where they're talking about corona and all, and also the newspaper which is covering live all these corona related incidents. Okay, so don't keenly look into all these things because 90% what they are telling is not truth. Okay, it's not fact also. Okay, say okay, thank you, all the best, thank you.